All right, today I have what I consider to be a nice surprise. It's a surprise because typically, just due to cost of pins, I have been primarily doing the Chinese fountain pins. But today I'm going to be showing you a pin that I purchased recently from Visconti. I have shied away from Visconti pins for a couple of reasons. One is the price tag. I mean, they're very nice pins, and a couple that I wouldn't mind getting, but they're just way out of my league at this point in my life, if ever. So the price tag, and then there's the issue with the quality control, especially on the nibs. And put those two together, I don't want to spend a lot of money for a pin that I'm going to have to send the nib to some nibmeister to have it fixed. That just to me doesn't make much sense at all. And then I was watching an episode of Goulet Pins with the new stuff coming out, and they had this pin. The pin comes in this box, this cardboard box. You have the cardboard sleeve. You open the box up. I usually don't do unboxing because most pins I get don't come in boxes. They just come in bubble wrap. Anyway, I ordered this through Pin Boutique, and I had a little discount, a birthday discount, so I used it on this pin. And I had these Jolly Ranchers. Probably won't eat those. I'm not a fan of those. And then this packing slip, packed with care, etc. Return policy from the store and the Visconti in multiple languages. Little brochure there. Probably some warranty information, or at least you get this. That's where you get all your information for anything nowadays is QR codes. All right, then you have this. What I call faux leather type of sleeve or blanket pillow, and there's the pin, and it comes in this wrap that also has a Visconti logo on it. Big deal. That's going in the trash soon. And this is the Visconti. I think technically it's a Mirage, but it's very different from the older style. The Mythos, Mirage Mythos, and this particular style of Mythos is called the Poseidon, which is great for a Navy guy. I did 4 years in the Navy. My dad was a 20-year Navy guy in the United States Navy. So yeah. Poseidon works. And if you are familiar, if you happen to be a sailor yourself, or if you're familiar with some of the naval traditions, there is, when you cross the equator, you have what's called Wog Day, or Polywog Day, or Shellback Day. It's where the polywogs, or wogs for short, go through a initiation and become shellbacks. All that to say is I had to get the Poseidon. I had to wait a little bit to get it, but I'm glad I waited. They only had a broad in Pin Boutique at the time, and so I had to wait for them to get these in stock again. So went with the Poseidon. This pin retails for $159, say $160. And I thought, okay, you know what? I've got a little bit extra. I've been saving my money, and so I am going to take the plunge. I mean, that was the most. I think it's a very reasonable price for what you're getting, and so we'll go through the parts of this pin and just give you a full tour. The pin from the band is part of the cap. From the band, it begins its taper down to the end of the body finial. At the end of the finial, you have this metal disc, if you will, almost like a hockey puck, but it has the Visconti V, and on this, the rim of this little puck here is somewhat sharp, but not to where it's going to cut you, but when you mess with it, it's a little bit irritating. I don't know why they couldn't have smoothed that out a little bit more, but it doesn't affect any writing experience, so don't worry about that. All right, I want to give you a look at the resin, because on the cap and the body, that's a resin body, so adds lightness to the metal parts. But boy, look at that, isn't that cool? It's that blue, and it's got silver in there, light blues. I mean, it's a deep ocean type of theme on the resin, and I really like that. The trim is all, it's brass, but it's plated in ruthenium, and I think it makes a really nice look to it. It's almost like a gunmetal look. The cap also tapers from the band up to the finial. The finial shows the part of the rocker clip there, and it is your typical Visconti. So they didn't let this look like a cheap pen or inexpensive or entry-level type pen. So I thought they did a very good job on that. It's just like a regular Visconti as far as I know. The band has these. They look like upside down V's, but they're supposed to be represent Mount Olympus on there. And then right in here it says Mythos. I say Mythos. What say you? This is a magnetic cap, and you hear a click there. On the body, there's these little indentations that match up with these grooves inside there. I don't know if you can see those, but there's some grooves inside the cap. I ran out of batteries on my flashlight, so I can't look in there, but you can kind of see one right there, and they just fit. It just fits right in there. It holds on there good. I wouldn't worry about this at all falling apart and getting ink all over my shirt or inside a backpack or purse or whatnot. The grip section is also ruthenium plated brass, and it is metal, but this is the descriptions I've seen on a couple websites call this a sandblasted. They do a sandblast type of finish on this, because if you'll notice some of the other models when you go to look at this on the retailer sites, a lot of them are more glossy than this one is, but so it's kind of sandblasted, and it says that they did that on the other parts of the trim. So be a very, very fine sandblast. But I don't find this to be slippery at all. And then you have this where your thumb's going to be on this part of the body, so on the resin, and then your fingers are gonna they're gonna stop right here. They may even be on. I usually, when I hold the pen, they're actually on the Mount Olympus little band there of the nib, and so even if you choke up on it or choke back on it a little bit, slide back, I don't see this as being slippery at all. So, but there's your band, and then on the nib, see if I can get it in better light there. It just has the lined border, and then it has the Visconti V, and then under that you have an M for medium, and then it says Visconti under that. The pen posts and it posts with it holds with a magnet inside, and while it wiggles a little bit, to me it's not irritating, and it holds securely on there, so I don't think that you are going to have any problems with this cap holding on. And then it really doesn't bother me that the band rides on my knuckle there. If I were gonna, I don't write posted, so, but it's there. I could see the potential for a little bit of irritation, but it's not sharp. So you can write comfortably with the band sitting right there. The shape of the pen mimics these facets on the body, mimic a Roman or Greek columns that they would have on their buildings, or maybe the temples, because all of these are named after Greek gods, you know, whatever. But so that would mimic that. And again, they always line up, no matter what orientation the nib is in when you cap it. When the facets all line up, which is, I think, a good detail, attention to detail for this. And then even when you cap it, they'll line up as well. The length of the body of this pen from nib tip to finial is 123 millimeters. The body girth at this widest point is almost 15 millimeters, 14.9 millimeters, and then it dips down to, let's say, 13 millimeters right about here, and then of course it decreases more than that. So the girth of the pen is very nice. The pen posted is 100, oops, doesn't post that way, is 159 millimeters. So I think that the weight, it's not really back weighted at all, because the weight flows toward the nib nicely. And so I think, you know, with it being resin, even though that you got the metal in there too with the magnet and the clip, I don't find this unbalanced at all, even posted. The grip girth at the middle point there is 10.5 millimeters. So I think it's a nice girth for that. The weight of the pen overall is 132 grams. Just the body is 19 grams. So it's enough to where, again, it's one of those kind of pens where it's enough that you have it, you know you have it in your hand, but it isn't too heavy. And even at 32 grams, I think it's a, you know, decent weight. If you have it posted, I think it's plenty decent weight, light enough, but you know, not too heavy and so forth. So yeah, I think this is a really good design. I'm glad they got away from the old Mirage, because even though there's some design characteristics there, they had a different kind of, and I'll spin that picture up. It was a different type of grip that I didn't find too attractive, and I think the nib on the old Mirage was a number 5, whereas this is a number 6 nib. All right, how about we take a look at some size comparisons. All right, here you have the Visconti Mythos Poseidon. You have a Pilot Metropolitan, a Waterman Carène, and a Diplomat Excellence A. Here they are unposted and posted. All right, how about a writing sample? Visconti. Mythos Poseidon. And this is a medium nib. No hard starts, no skips, a very, very, very smooth nib. Even on cheaper paper, this is a rhodium grid pad. You know, even on the cheaper paper I have, it writes very smooth. So kudos to Visconti for using a German nib. Let's see, wetness. Yep, it's pretty wet. So not out of control wet though, because even on, like I said, even on cheaper paper, it still does very well. It doesn't get too crazy. It's a little bit broader of a line than what we have here, but not bad at all. Let's see, reverse writing. Surprisingly smooth, which will give you a fine to extra fine line there, and it keeps up. It keeps up. This is a very nice pen. I am so glad that I got this pen. One of the things too that when I was reading reviews on this pen, somebody noted that one of their frustrations was the ink as you're dipping your nib into the ink bottle, and of course you usually go over onto the grip section, is that the ink gets up into these grooves on the grip, at the end of the grip section there, and I didn't find that at all. And it would be easy to clean out. Just take a little damp part of your paper towel or whatnot and just wipe it out. It should be fine. But I didn't. I was expecting to have to deal with that, but I didn't have any problems at all. What do I think about this Visconti Mirage Mythos Poseidon? I really like this pen. It is a great looker. All the Mythos models all look nice in their own way. It's a quality build, and you feel that as soon as you pick this pen up from the rocker clip. I mean, it's got good tension, but it's sturdy. The band, all the fit and finish on this is smooth. You don't have sharp edges, except for that, around that ring there's a little bit of a sharp edge. But like on the band, and the band fits right up snug with that. It's not off, and same with the grip. Just everything fits. Very quality build. And it's a very smooth rider. I like it. I don't really have any cons. I mean, if you got picky, and you said, well, I want the nib to line up with the clip when I put this in there, because it doesn't. All right, and that's probably because they're trying to keep the finials lined up and make sure that, I don't know why, but anyway, and it won't, the nib and the clip don't line up that way either. I mean, I guess you could, but if you wanted to cram it on there. But anyway, as it normally fits, it doesn't line up. But I mean, that's not a big deal. In fact, I was thinking, if you like to write with it posted, it kind of angles it a little bit to where you can see the Visconti when you're writing. So that could be an advantage, I guess. For $160, and being a Visconti, and I really don't think you're just paying for a name. When you look at all the details on this pen, I think you're getting a really good deal. I appreciate Visconti doing this for us, making us an entry-level pen It's affordable, in the upper range for some of us, but it's within reach. I appreciate you watching, and go ahead and check out a couple more videos if you like, and hope you have a great day.